What's going on, everybody? It's Bart from BR Garage Mobile Detailing, and today I just wanted to showcase you guys how I do ceramic coatings being mobile. Right? It's a crazy thought because we always think about ceramic coatings as being this really expensive service and you need to bring it to that expensive shop. But in all reality, I have all the proper training and all the proper skills, and I've been doing this for so long that I can essentially get this done anywhere. I mean, if we're really stuck outside, I can get it outside. Luckily today, my client, he works at this dealership. We're just gonna do all the prep outside. So I'm gonna walk you guys through all the steps, and then we're actually gonna go inside and do the coating inside. But let's say you are limited and you don't have a garage, no worries, we are able to get this outside. So today I just wanna walk you guys through, showcase what we do, start to finish. And I really hope you guys enjoy the video. Guys, so the first process or step with honestly, anytime we do a detail, and especially if we're going to be doing exterior work, is we always start with the wheels first. We're going to go through, we're going to clean the wheel wells, make sure those are all nice and clean. Obviously, after that, we're going to be cleaning the tires, the wheel faces, the calipers, and the barrels to make them look real nice and crispy. I'll do a quick time lapse for that. And I know wheel cleaning videos are always satisfying, so I'll do a quick time lapse for that for you guys. And then we'll move on to the next step. I'm just going to show you guys step by step, so you guys understand why these services cost so much. So obviously we can tell the wheels are all washed, they're looking great. The next step in this whole ceramic coating process is usually we'd be going in for a wash now, right? So I actually wash the car about 2 times before we even do anything really. But during my first wash, I use this thing called an iron decontaminant. So what this does is this removes any embedded essentially iron that's within the clear coat. Think about it like that. Like from when you're driving and you're going over these railroad tracks, your brake dust, everything else like that kicks up. And believe it or not, the clear coat on paint is very soft. So within that, what this does is this causes a chemical reaction. It removes those embedded iron contaminants. Even though after we're done with this iron decontamination, I'm still actually going to do a whole nother step, which is called clay barring. And that's going to even furthermore essentially remove those embedded things, contaminants within the paint. Think about it as like an extreme exfoliation for the vehicle. So all I'm going to do from here is simply just start spraying this car down with this chemical, letting it sit for a little bit. But during the time that it's sitting, I'm actually going to foam the car up and begin my wash process. So before you're like, hey, you're doing it wrong, we all have our own processes. This is what works for me, and I haven't had a single issue doing it like this. So keep your comments to yourself, please. Every detailer has their own way of doing things. Okay, so as you can clearly see, the iron decontaminant is sprayed on the paint, the glass, everything like that, and it's already starting to work. With that being said, I like to speed up my process a little bit. Let me clip you guys up right here. And I start foaming down the vehicle and starting the first wash. Keyword, first wash. All we're gonna do is foam it down. We're gonna start washing. During that time, it's gonna give this chemical plenty of dwell time, plenty of work time. You really can't beat it. All right, guys, as you can clearly see, the whole car is foamed up. Got the wash bucket with the wash solution. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start washing it. I'm gonna put a quick time lapse because everybody, for some reason, really freaking enjoys when we wash cars. So I'm gonna put the time lapse on. We're gonna wash it, and then we're gonna do a real thorough rinse. Make sure we get all the soap and all the iron decon out of here. And then after that, we're gonna do our second wash, which is gonna be an acidic shampoo, which is gonna remove essentially, this is a brand new car also, which is gonna remove any waxes from the factory, glue, sealant, stuff like that. Just essentially make it free and clear and ready for the next step. obviously we can see that the car has been washed the first time. Now this is the second time, which is that acidic wash that I was talking about. Right here we have a chemical called CarPro Descale, and I'll literally read the front for what it tells you. A powerful and versatile acidic car shampoo for hard water and tough dirt. Removes minerals, waxes, sealants, and oils, and safely restores ceramic coating properties. So we use this before we ceramic coat your vehicle, just because it does such a good job of removing all these other contaminants and stuff like that. But also after you have your ceramic coated, after your vehicle is ceramic coated, I like to see you back minimally once a year. It's just to make sure that the coating is performing well and it's doing what it's supposed to do. We actually use this shampoo to sometimes unclog the coating, especially here in Chicago. We get a lot of crazy weather with the salt on the road, the rain, the this, the that. I mean, shit, we might even get some tornadoes sometimes. And all that type of stuff does in fact impact the paint that you have on the vehicle. So with that being said, you guys already saw me wash the vehicle once. I think you guys know what it entails to wash a car. I'm just gonna go through, wash it again. We're gonna rinse it, we're gonna dry it, and then we're gonna pull it inside and get to the real work. All right, guys, we're back. I'm inside. Finally take my sweater off. It was freezing outside. It's a little bit warmer in here, but like I said, so let's run through the whole process again. We did the wheels, we did the tires, wheel faces, wheel barrels. We went through and we did our iron decontamination with our first wash. Then we went through and did our second acidic wash. Now, remember how I told you guys that the iron decontamination is essentially like exfoliating your skin? Well, we're going to be exfoliating again. Right here, what you can see is I have a clay bar. Think about this like a Play-Doh type of material, but there are a couple different versions of this. There are synthetic ones, which I don't have with me in here, but those we use mainly more for like wash clay seal packages where we're doing a ceramic coating, we want something that's actually more thorough of a cleaning. So I'm gonna show you guys how we do this really quick. And yes, it's literally this big, very small. So we're gonna use the best pump sprayer in the world, Marilex. We're gonna spray down the panel, because the key thing with this is keeping it lubricated so we don't add any scratches to the surface. Now you might think, well, it's a brand new car, how dirty can it be? Let me do this panel and I'll show you guys how it looks. So essentially all we're doing here is we're going back and forth, exfoliating the surface, essentially giving it another deep clean. And I'm not applying any pressure. I do not want to scratch it, essentially. I'm just going through and cleaning it. And you can kind of hear it. Hopefully the mic picked that up, where it's picking up everything else that's embedded within the paint. So if you go over your paint at home and it feels like sandpaper, you most likely got to do some clay barring to it to make it sure it's nice and smooth. So with that being said, basically finishing up here. And yes, we're going to go through and we're going to do this to every single panel, every square inch of this car. So this is a brand new car and you can literally see how tinted this is. Now there is not a lot on here because I did such a thorough job of cleaning it, but I can literally see the difference in color of the brown and black spots that are in the clay bar, and that's the whole point, because when we're doing a ceramic coating, we want the surface as clean as possible. So I'm going to start going through. I'm going to clay bar this whole entire vehicle. Once we're done with that, I'll bring you guys back in. I'll show you guys the next step, give you a little clip of that, and then after that, we'll finally be able to get to the ceramic coating. So the full clay bar was complete. The paint is as smooth as a baby's butt, but real grippy. So it's probably as virgin as it's going to be. And now we're going to move on to the next step, which no matter what ceramic coating you get from me, whichever level, whether it's our 3-year, our 5-year, or our lifetime coating, it all comes standard with essentially a paint enhancement. What a paint enhancement is it mainly focuses I'm restoring the gloss and the clarity of the paint while also removing some surface level defects. So we have our polisher here with a secret combination of products that I cannot disclose. Yes, I know you're probably like, what is up with all these detailers and keeping the secrets? There's a reason for it. So we have to hide our things as simply, it's very, the detailing industry isn't very clear cut, and there is no one way to do anything, and everyone has their own tricks and tips and whatever else that take a long time to develop and figure out the best way. So with that being said, I will not disclose what is on my pad, but just know that this will produce a very, very nice result. I personally am a fiend for gloss. I love a glossy look, and this allows me to give a little extra cut while producing an insane level of gloss. So I'm gonna take you guys through me polishing this. I'm gonna put it on a time lapse, so we'll speed it up for you guys a little bit, and then I'll show you guys the after of just this fender compared to the rest of the vehicle. Alright guys, I have you guys in hand now, and yes, the hood looks absolutely fantastic, right? Looks great. Pay attention to that fender. You can see literally the deepness of the color coming to fruition. Right? If we look at this fender, the reflection, the depth, and the saturation of this color is second to none. Whereas we go from this door to this fender, just pay attention. There's the doors, and there's the fender. It's a whole different level, and that's why I love this combo so much that I have. But as you guys can see, this car, after we lay the coating, is gonna pop. So we still have to go through, we're gonna polish this whole entire vehicle. We're also gonna be polishing the glass just to make sure it's nice and bare, because we will be coating that also. With all that being said, after we are done polishing, what we're gonna go through is we're actually gonna go through and we're gonna do a panel prep, which is gonna remove any residual polishing oils and stuff like that. I do use a control cleaner. With the polishes that I do use, there tends to be left over some additional oil, and it can kind of distort the way that the finish looks, so you don't know truly how it looks until you use this, which is already removing a good amount of the oils, but I'm also going to follow through and be safe. So think about how many times we're cleaning this coating, right? We're cleaning, and then we just get to the coating. That's why we say you're really not paying for the coating. Really, at the end of the day, what you're paying for is the amount of prep work that's going to go into it. Some cars require a lot of prep, some cars don't, but most of the time what you're paying for is the amount of prep work. Like, I think we'll use close to 10 different chemicals by the time before we even apply the ceramic coating. So with that being said, I'm going to go through, I'm going to polish the rest of the car. I'll bring you guys in to show you how a panel prep is, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm just spraying something on there, wiping it off, making sure it's free and clear, and then I'll show you guys the actual application of the ceramic coating. All right guys, so as we can clearly tell, the car has been polished. The reflection is absolutely perfect. You can literally see me crystal clear in this. See me right there? Car has been completely polished. We haven't even gotten to the coating yet, and it already looks second to none. So this is what happens when you work with somebody who knows what they're doing and they've been doing it for a while and takes genuine pride in their work and isn't doing this for a quick buck. As you guys can tell, this car looks absolutely fantastic. Alright guys, so I just showed you guys the car after polishing. Although I did already clean off a lot of the oils with the control cleaner that I use, we still have to go through and we have to do a final wipe
right? So think about how many times I've cleaned it. Like I said, we're gonna do this a lot. With the amount of times I cleaned it, I'm doing one more cleaning on this, and then we're actually gonna get into the real ceramic coating. In here, we have our panel wipe. We're gonna shake it up, and all we're gonna do is spray down the entire panel, let it dwell for a few seconds. Then we're gonna go through, we're gonna wipe it down. If you guys see me doing circular motions, don't worry. It's not gonna scratch the paint. Everyone thinks that if you go in a circular motion, you're gonna add scratches to your paint. Realistically, you're not gonna scratch it if you're just being gentle. So, with everything being said, we did the first wipe, and now I'm going through, buffing it out, making sure we have nothing left over. After I do this to the whole entire vehicle, which we'll be doing that to the paint, the glass, and the wheels, we'll go into the coating. All right, guys, I think you can kind of halfway see me. I'm trying to set you guys up so you can actually see the ceramic coating application. I'm a accredited installer of System X right here. In my opinion, this is a company that stands true to their beliefs, true to their installers, and true to their people, their clients, I guess you could say, who get it installed. This is our top of the line coating, System X Max. They did just come out with a new iteration of it, but we will not be applying it to this vehicle. But Max is their top of the line coating. This is their 10-year or lifetime coating, and I know some of you guys might be skeptical, like, Bart, how can a coating last that long? Well, if you're a person who maintains their vehicle, like, ceramic coatings aren't for everybody, right? Like, if you're someone who just wants to take it to a tunnel wash, ceramic coating's not for you. If you're somebody who's going to care about it, wash it once a month, and then come in and do the yearly maintenance with us, where we basically go through, we unclog the coating, inspect it, make sure it's not failing, anything like that, so it doesn't come out of your pocket, right? Like, if the coating does begin to fail, the company warranties that work. So there's nothing coming out of pocket to you. With that being said, sometimes, yes, we do have to apply a top coat. Think about this as a very strong sacrificial base layer that sometimes just needs to be topped off, just like anything, just like your oil. Sometimes a car burns a little bit of oil and you need to put some more in it. It's the same thing. This is essentially a sacrificial barrier that's going to protect the paint from chemicals. It protects it from the entire pH scale, bird droppings, stuff like that. It does offer, ceramic coatings are not scratch proof. What they do is they reduce the chances of you scratching it, and they do have some slight resistance while you are washing it, right? So what I'm going to go through here now is I'm going to start applying it. I'm going to clip you guys up. I'm sorry if the audio gets a little bit bad. I don't know how it's going to sound up here, but I'm going to clip you guys up, and I'm going to start applying it and show you guys how it goes. All right, so right here we have our applicator. I have my pipette, and we have the Max coating right here. We're going to be using 2 towels to remove it. Some people like 3, some people like 4, some people like 6. I'm a 2 towel method type of guy. All right, so I'm going to get this all primed up and ready to go. What I did right there is just prime up the entire applicator, because it will be the first application. After we keep going, it'll then finally kind of spread itself out. So we're going to lay down a nice thick line down the middle of it. This coating does require to be applied in a thick layer. That's what makes them so protective. And this is a single layer coating. This isn't multi-layer. We can do a multi-layer if we want, but that's why I like this company, is simply because it is a 1-layer coating. We're going to go through, we're going to split this fender in half. And I really hope you guys can see this coating laying down, kind of set it up in the thoughts that you guys could see it. We're going to go through, we're going to lay this coating nice and thick. Making sure that we get every edge, because you will be able to tell. Now during this time, what we're doing is we're waiting for it to flash. Some coatings will do a rainbow, some coatings will bead. Different coatings have different ways. This coating is a 30-second flash time, believe it or not. It's very fast. So if it's a little bit higher humidity, it's gonna flash even faster. If it's colder, it's gonna take longer. This one on average is about 30 seconds. I can already start seeing it split apart. Let me bring you guys in. Maybe I can show you. I'm gonna take the risk and show you guys. You guys can kind of see the coating on there now, right? Set you guys back down right here. And I'm actually gonna start removing it with the first towel, which the first towel is to level the coating. So all we're doing is removing the initial top layer, and we work from outside in so we're not spreading the coatings anywhere else. All right, so I got to the edge. I'm gonna come over, get it the rest, and now I work my way in. So there's the first layer that's been removed. Set the towel down. Now, why we follow up with the second towel is because there's always something left over. And this is a really plush one, and it does an absolutely fantastic job of picking up any residual amount of that coating so we don't have any high spots. High spots are essentially where coating was left over and not fully wiped, and it'll give like a rainbow appearance most of the time is what you'll see. So as you guys can see how much easier this towel is gliding across the paint. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to apply it to the entire vehicle. After it's been applied, it needs 4 hours to dry before you're able to drive it, but it cannot get wet for 24. It is fully cured in 24. You can drive away in 4, fully cured in 24. All right, guys, as you can see, final product of our 10-year ceramic coating got laid down with the wheels, paint, and all the glass. And as you guys can see, I think it speaks for itself. Full glass reflection on the vehicle. This is the type of work that we do here. If you guys are interested, you guys already know what to do. Tap in with us, find us on Google, Facebook, and Instagram, and we'll get you looking good.